What if I told you that the events unfolding right now on the streets of London and the halls of Westminster were not just political maneuvers, but the silent turning of pages in an ancient prophetic text? What if the very identity of a nation, a kingdom, was a living, breathing cipher, a puzzle placed thousands of years ago, waiting for this exact moment in history to be solved? The world watches the United Kingdom, sees the headlines, the changes, the global shifts it instigates, and yet almost no one sees the shadow behind the throne. Almost no one hears the echo of footsteps from a distant desert, from the visions of prophets now resonating through the corridors of power. What the United Kingdom just did is not just in the news. It is word for word, symbol for symbol, echoed in the Bible. And by the end of this journey, you will see the map that has been hidden in plain sight. You will understand the true role of this island nation in a cosmic story that spans millennia. You will possess a key to understanding what comes next, not just for Britain, but for the world. So if you're ready to see history, not as a series of accidents, but as a meticulously crafted design, keep watching. For what we are about to uncover will challenge everything you thought you knew about power, prophecy, and the very fabric of our reality. Let us begin not with modern politics, but in the dust of a forgotten empire. Close your eyes and travel back with me to the plains of Mesopotamia, to the court of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. This mighty king had a dream, a terrifying, colossal statue of a man with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet a mixture of iron and clay. A stone, not cut by human hands, then strikes the feet and the entire edifice crumbles into dust. The prophet Daniel interprets this vision as a sequence of world empires: Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. But Rome, the iron legs, does not simply vanish. It fractures, it divides, and its legacy flows westward. The feet and toes, a mixture of strong and brittle, iron and clay, represent the final divided form of that imperial power. Now, fast forward through the collapse of Rome. Where did its institutions, its laws, its very concept of empire go? They traveled to the misty islands at the edge of the known world, to a place the Romans once called Britannia. The concept of a Holy Roman Empire, the dream of a unified Christendom under a Caesar-like figure, did not die. It transmuted. It found a new vessel. And the next part will surprise you even more, because the Bible gives us not just a metaphor of metals, but a specific, shocking identity for this migratory power. We must now turn to a most mysterious and misunderstood book, Revelation. In its labyrinthine symbols, we find a woman, clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet. She is about to give birth, and a great red dragon stands ready to devour her child. The child is caught up to God, and the woman flees into the wilderness. Where does she flee? The scripture says, to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. A place of safety, away from the dragon. For centuries, theologians have pondered, who is this woman? Is it Israel? Is it the church? Yes, but in a symbolic sense. But what if she also represents a preserving force, a guardian of a divine promise? And what if that place of safety, that island fortress far from the heart of the old Roman world, was the British Isles? Consider the timeline. As persecution swept across Europe, as the dragon of tyranny sought to crush theological dissent, where did the reformers look? Where did the pilgrims sail from? From that very island. It became a refuge, a protector of the biblical text itself, funding the translation and global distribution of the scriptures on an unprecedented scale. The British and Foreign Bible Society, founded in 1804, wasn't just a charity. It was the logistical arm of a prophetic safe house. But the dragon does not give up. It calls forth beasts from the sea and the earth systems of control, of economic and political power. And here is where the connection becomes electrifying. One of these beasts in Revelation 13 is described as having two horns like a lamb, but speaking like a dragon. It exercises all the authority of the first beast and makes the earth worship that beast. It is a deceptive power, mimicking Christian virtue, but serving a dragon's agenda. Now, observe the historical role of the United Kingdom. It presented a face of civility, law, and even missionary zeal, the lamb-like horns. But its imperial machinery often spoke the language of ruthless control and subjugation, the dragon's voice. It propagated a system, a global order. And what is the most powerful tool of any empire? Not just its armies, but its currency, its economic system. And the next revelation uncovers a secret very few people know about the mark of the beast, because it's not about barcodes or microchips yet. It is about a system of buying and selling. For centuries, the global system of trade and finance was dictated by London. The pound sterling, the city of London, the central banking model exported worldwide. This was the architecture of modern commerce. The UK didn't just sell goods, it sold a system that every nation, to participate in the world, had to adopt. Does that sound familiar? A system without which no one could buy or sell. We are peeling back the first layer of a deep, ancient secret. But let's go deeper, into the very soil and stone of the land. The prophets of Israel often spoke of the islands, or the coastlands, in significant ways. Listen to me, you islands. Hear this, you distant nations, says Isaiah. Jeremiah speaks of God's judgment, reaching to the kings of the earth and all the peoples of the world, from one end of the heavens to the other. These distant islands are often portrayed as places of both refuge and of ultimate reckoning. Now, consider the foundational myth of Britain, not history, but the myth that shaped its national consciousness. The story of Brutus of Troy, fleeing the fallen city, guided by goddesses to a white-cliffed island he names Britain after himself. Or the deeper, more esoteric legend that Joseph of Arimathea, the man who buried Jesus, came to Glastonbury with the Holy Grail, thrusting his staff into the ground where it blossomed into the holy thorn tree. This island was mythologized as a New Jerusalem, an Avalon, a place set apart for a sacred trust. The Arthurian legends aren't mere fairy tales. They are a cultural memory of a divinely appointed kingdom, a keeper of a covenant and a cup. This sense of divine election, of a manifest destiny, fueled the British Empire's sense of mission. They saw themselves as the new Israel, a light to the Gentiles. And this belief, this symbolic identity, is the key to understanding their modern actions. Because what happens when a nation that believes it has a covenantal, prophetic role makes a monumental, sovereign decision? We arrive at the modern moment. What the United Kingdom just did. A seismic decision that echoed across the world, dividing its own people and reshaping the global map. It stepped out of a continental union. It reclaimed what it saw as its sovereign destiny. To the political analyst, it's Brexit. To the prophetic eye, it is the literal acting out of a script written in the books of Daniel and Revelation. Remember the feat of iron and clay? A mixture that does not hold? The European Union is perhaps the most ambitious modern attempt to recreate a unified, Roman-style empire in Europe, a politico-economic colossus. The United Kingdom, the iron legacy of Rome, was mixed in with the continental clay, and the mixture proved unstable. The UK's exit was the cracking of the foot. It was the reassertion of the island identity, the retreat to the place prepared in the wilderness, away from the consolidating power of a dragon-influenced system. This was not merely a vote on trade deals. It was a nation, perhaps unconsciously, following its deepest archetypal programming, to be separate, to be a distinct player in the final act. And what comes next may change how you see global politics forever, because this act did not conclude the story. It activated the next sequence. Now, observe the aftermath. the internal divisions. The kingdom itself began to show strains. The Union of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, the very united in its name, faced profound questions. Referendums were discussed, orders debated. This is the clay and iron refusing to bond. But there's more. The UK then embarked on a bold new global strategy. It sought to forge alliances with growing powers in the Indo-Pacific, with ancient kingdoms like Israel and the Gulf states, positioning itself as a global maritime balancer once more. It is aligning itself precisely along the fault lines of biblical prophecy, engaging with the kings of the East, reaffirming ties with the daughter of Babylon, America, and navigating its relationship with the revived Roman system, the EU. It is positioning itself on the chessboard exactly where the ancient texts would suggest a major island-based mercantile power would be in the last days, not as the primary Antichrist power, but as a crucial facilitator, ambiguous power with lamb-like horns and a dragon's legacy of finance and law. Its recent proclamations and laws regarding national identity, its stance on global digital governance, its role in the financial Great Reset. Each move is a piece of the puzzle clicking into place. And this leads us to the most breathtaking connection of all. Hidden in plain sight in your own wallet, if you hold a British pound, look at the £1 coin. What do you see? A crown. The crown of the United Kingdom. But see it through the eyes of revelation. On her head was a crown of 12 stars. The woman, the guardian force, wears a crown of 12 stars. The UK crown is depicted with precisely that, crosses and fleur-de-lis forming a circle of point stars in symbolic language. And how many points? Investigate the historic heraldic depictions. The crown of the United Kingdom is routinely represented with 12 points, 12 stars. It is the symbol of the European Union flag, yes, but it originated in sacred iconography of the woman. The UK has left the EU, but it retains the crown. It is claiming the symbolic mantle for itself, separating from the collective to stand alone under that starred crown. This is not coincidence. This is heraldic prophecy. And the next piece of evidence will tie the royal lineage itself to the throne of David, suggesting a bloodline claim that connects London to Jerusalem in a way that will stagger you. We must speak of the coronation oath, the solemn covenant between the monarch and God. The words spoken in Westminster Abbey are not just tradition. They are a ritual invocation of a divine right that traces itself back to the anointing of King Solomon. The music, Zadok the priest, is drawn directly from 1 Kings. The monarch is presented with an orb, a scepter, and a ring, the symbols of covenantal authority. The United Kingdom maintains the last fully ceremonial, sacral monarchy in the Western world. It performs, every coronation, a ritual that mirrors the dedication of the temple. Why? Because at a subconscious national soul level, it sees itself as the caretaker of Davidic covenant in the church age. This belief that the British royal line is descended from the House of David through the Irish and Scottish royal lines, a tale told in the Stone of Scone or Jacob's Pillow legend, is the hidden engine of its national myth. Every time the monarch opens Parliament, it is a faint echo of a king sitting on a throne in Zion. And when this nation acts on the world stage, it does so with this buried spiritual presumption. Its recent, vigorous support for certain nations in the Middle East, its particular alliances, are not random. They are geographical fulfillments of ancient blessings and curses spoken over the tribes of Israel, which many believe migrated into early Europe and settled in these very islands. We are talking about the lost tribes theory, not as a fringe idea, but as the foundational, subconscious identity that drove imperial policy and now drives its post-imperial maneuvering. So, what does all this mean for you right now today? The United Kingdom has just acted as a prophetic weather vane. Its movements show us the direction of the wind, the consolidation of global powers, the realignment of alliances, the straining of unions. The focus on digital identity and economic control, the UK is both a participant and a mirror. It shows us that the iron and clay era is here, that the woman is in the wilderness, that the beasts are rising, and the stone, cut without hands, is poised. Your awareness of this is not for fear, but for understanding. We are living in the pages that were written so long ago. Every headline is a commentary on an ancient text. This knowledge is your lamp in the darkness. But a lamp is not meant to be hidden. This understanding must spread, and that is where you, right now, have a role to play in this grand narrative. If this revelation has illuminated something for you, if you feel that stir of recognition, then you are now a bearer of this light. And the simplest, most powerful way to spread this light is by amplifying this message. By clicking the like button, you tell the algorithm this truth matters, that this knowledge needs to reach the people who are searching for answers in these chaotic times. By subscribing, you align yourself with this channel as we continue to connect the dots, to peel back further layers in upcoming deep dives, because we have only just begun. The connections to the City of London, to the specific royal decrees, to the digital pound, are even more startling. And by commenting with a short prayer, just a sentence for wisdom, for protection, for awakening for the world, you create a wave of spiritual energy that supports this work and touches everyone who reads it. Your prayer in that comment section is a digital altar, a point of light. By doing these three things like subscribe, comment your prayer, you actively help spread God's word to a wider audience who is desperately looking for hope and context. You become part of the story, helping to prepare the way. So, where does this leave us? At a cliffhanger of cosmic proportions. Because the United Kingdom's next move is already being plotted. The upcoming global financial shifts, the role of its intelligence apparatus, the final possible fracture of its own union. Will Scotland leave? Will the Crown see a new, younger monarch navigate these storms? And how will this island kingdom interact with the rising power of a digital Babylon? A one-world financial system being built before our eyes. The stage is set. The actors are taking their positions. The United Kingdom has just delivered its latest line, straight from an ancient script. And as the curtain rises on the next act, we must watch, not with panic, but with the profound understanding of those who have read the last page. The stone is in the mountain, and it is about to be cut loose. But that is a revelation for next time. Stay tuned, stay vigilant, and may your eyes be open to see the patterns in the chaos. So here we stand, at the precipice of understanding. Look back with me now, across the vast expanse of history we have traversed together. We began in the fiery dreams of Nebuchadnezzar, with a statue of empires, gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay. We traced the iron legs of Rome as they fractured and marched westward, their imperial legacy finding a new heart in the misty islands of Britannia. We witnessed the woman of Revelation, clothed with the sun, fleeing to a place of safety prepared by God, an island fortress that would become a refuge for faith, for the word itself, guarded by a crown of 12 stars. We heard the dragon's roar and saw the rise of a beast with lamb-like horns, speaking of trade and law, yet carrying the ancient voice of control. We decoded the symbols in our very hands, the coins, the coronations, the sacred oaths that tie a modern throne to the lineage of David. We saw the myths in the soil, from Joseph of Arimathea, staffed to the quest for the Grail, all pointing to a nation subconsciously believing it held a divine covenant. And then we saw the modern prophecy unfold not in parchment, but in headlines. We witnessed the cracking of the iron and clay as the United Kingdom stepped out of a revived Roman system. We observed its strategic turn toward the kings of the East and the global balancer role, positioning itself precisely on the prophetic chessboard. Every move from financial systems to digital governance revealed a nation acting out an ancient embedded script. The United Kingdom is not a random actor. It is a character in a divine drama, a living, breathing cipher whose actions are a commentary on Daniel, Isaiah, and Revelation. What it just did was not an isolated political event. It was a page turned in the cosmic story, a signal that the sequences are accelerating, that the wilderness time has a clock, and that the stone is being prepared. This knowledge is not for you to hoard in fear. It is a lamp. It is a map. It is understanding granted so you can stand unshaken, discerning the times, and knowing that even in the tumult of nations, a greater hand is guiding the narrative toward its ultimate glorious conclusion. But a lamp is meant to be carried into the dark. A map is meant to be shared with the lost. And this is where your holy responsibility begins. Right now, this is more than a video. It is a dispatch from the front lines of prophecy, and you have received it. You have been given insight that can anchor a soul, awaken a spirit, and turn confusion into clarity. But with this knowledge comes a mission. I am calling you to action, not just passive watching, but active participation in spreading this light. First, make this personal. Make it real. The comment section below is no longer just a comment section. It is an altar. It is a gathering of witnesses. I want you to go there now. Write your personal confession of faith. Declare who Jesus is to you. Share a short, powerful prayer for our world, for your family, for the awakening of nations. Or tell us what God has done in your life. Just a sentence. He healed me. He saved me. He is my peace. When you type those words, you are adding your stone to a spiritual wall of witness that will strengthen everyone who reads it. You are proving that this is about a living God, active right now. Then, become a carrier. Do not let this message end with you. The algorithm is a river, and your shares are the current that carries this truth to thirsty souls. I am challenging you with a sense of holy urgency. Share this video with at least 10 people or more. Send it to your family group chat. Post it to your community. Share it with those who are searching, who are fearful of the headlines, who need to see the pattern behind the chaos. When you hit that share button, you are not just sharing content. You are extending the reach of God's teaching. You are handing someone a key to understanding their world. You are potentially helping to turn a heart toward the kingdom. Think of the ripple effect. Your 10 shares lead to 100 views, which lead to 1,000, and somewhere, a soul on the brink of despair watches and finds hope, finds context, finds Christ. This is how we combat the darkness, not just with knowledge, but with aggressive, love-driven dissemination of truth. We are in a spiritual battle, and this video is a weapon of light. Your share is a strategic act of war for the souls of men and women. When this video reaches more souls, it is God's teaching being carried on the wind of your obedience. It is His blessing extended through your fingertips. The stage is set. The final acts are upon us. But we are not mere spectators. We are the messengers. So, go now to the comments, to the share button. Confess, pray, testify. Spread this fire. Let the world know that the ancient words are alive, the prophecy is in motion, and the victory is assured. Do your part. I am praying for you as you do. Now go.